So if you've ever used ChatGPT, you know it can feel like a total roll of the dice, right? Sometimes the results are amazing, and other times, well, they're just kind of meh. But what if the problem isn't the AI? What if it's us? Today, we're going to dive into 19 laws that will totally transform your prompts from average to absolutely exceptional.
Does this sound familiar? You ask for a killer marketing slogan, and what you get back sounds like it came from a corporate greeting card. Or you ask it to explain something complicated, and it spits out this dry, super generic paragraph. It's frustrating. You just get this feeling that this incredibly powerful tool is somehow holding back on you.
But here's the secret, and it's a real game changer. The AI isn't the problem. The power to get a mind-blowing answer is totally in your hands. It all, and I mean all, comes down to the quality of your prompt. You're the one in charge here, and today we're going to show you exactly how to lead.
Okay, this right here, this is the most important mindset shift you can possibly make. I want you to start thinking of ChatGPT as a brilliant, incredibly eager intern. Seriously, it has access to pretty much all of human knowledge, and it wants to help you succeed. The catch? Just like an intern on their first day, it has zero context. None. It doesn't know about your project, your goals, your audience, or your style. It's just waiting for you to give it clear directions. So that means your prompt. That's the creative brief you're handing to your new intern. And our guide for writing the perfect brief is this amazing set of 19 laws. Think of this as the Rosetta Stone for talking to an AI. Let's break down some of the most crucial ones to get you started right away. All right, let's start with the absolute essentials. Before you can get all creative and complex, you have to build a solid foundation for your request. It really is all about setting the scene properly for that brilliant intern of yours. We're going to kick things off with two of the big ones you see here, clarity and constraints. I promise you, just mastering these two ideas will immediately level up your results.
So law number one is super simple, but it's probably the most important. Be direct. Forget trying to sound clever or poetic. You wouldn't ask your intern to synergize a paradigm-shifting communication vector, would you? No. You'd say, hey, can you draft an email? You got to talk to the AI in simple, plain language. It's not a poet, it's a logic engine, and it loves clear instructions.
Now, just as important as telling your intern what to do is telling them what not to do. That's what law number 5 is all about, setting boundaries. Think of these as guardrails that keep the AI on track and away from the stuff you don't want.
And wow, check out the difference this makes. On the left, you've got this vague request that could go a million different ways. But on the right, that's a surgical instruction. Under 75 words, no cliches, and don't you dare mention the competition. See? The after prompt doesn't leave any room for error. It pretty much guarantees you'll get something much more useful. Okay, so your foundation is set, you're being clear, you're setting boundaries. Now let's level up. It's time to stop just asking for stuff and start directing the AI's thinking process. This is the real art of the ask. So now, you're not just giving instructions, you're becoming a director. Let's zoom in on laws 7 and 8, because these are going to force the AI to move past just spitting out information and into real analysis and critical thinking. This one little trick completely changes the game. Instead of just asking for a list of ideas, give it a few options and force it to make a decision. This pushes the AI from being a passive summarizer to an active analyst. It actually has to weigh pros and cons and commit to a recommendation. Here's a perfect example of that. You're not just vaguely saying, give me some headlines. No, you're giving it the options and the specific criteria for judging them. In this case, the millennial audience. This forces a much deeper level of analysis and gives you a way more valuable answer. In this law, it takes things even one step further. Don't just settle for the final answer. Make it show its work. Asking the AI to justify its choices gives you this powerful insight into its reasoning, which honestly can be just as valuable as the output itself. You're not just getting the what, you're getting the why. A prompt like this is just fantastic for getting feedback. Yeah, the ranking is the answer, but that explanation of the reasoning, that's where the real gold is. This turns ChatGPT from a simple content creator into a strategic consultant, and it gives you feedback you can actually learn from. All right, you've laid the groundwork, you're directing like a pro. Now it's time for the really cool stuff. It's time to unlock the truly advanced moves that will tap into the AI's full creative and systemic potential. And for this last part, we're going to focus on two of my absolute favorites from this list, law number 15, which is all about tone, and the ultimate power move, law 19, which is about building systems. Okay, let's talk about tone. Seriously, this might be the single biggest lever you can pull to totally change the flavor of an output. This is the difference between a robotic, boring block of text and writing that has a real human voice.
I mean, just listen to the nuance in these examples. Confident but not cocky. Smart and slightly confrontational. These aren't just single adjectives, they're entire personality profiles. Giving the AI this kind of detailed tonal direction is how you get content that truly feels like it was crafted by a person specifically for you.
And that brings us to the master level technique, the ultimate power move. Once you've crafted a prompt that gives you that perfect result, don't just use it once and forget about it. Turn it into a repeatable system. This is how you really scale your productivity and get consistent, high-quality results every single time.
And it's actually really simple to do. First, you get a prompt that you absolutely love. Then, you figure out which parts are going to change each time, like the topic or the audience, and you turn those into variables. And finally, you just save that as a template. Boom! You now have a custom-built tool that you can use over and over again.
So there you have it. We've gone all the way from laying a solid foundation to directing the AI's thinking and finally to unlocking its most powerful creative features. The real key now is turning all these laws into habits.
So, to wrap it all up, first you build that strong foundation with crystal clear language and firm constraints. Next, you become the director, making the AI choose, judge, and justify its work. And finally, you achieve mastery by defining a specific tone and turning your best prompts into reusable systems.
So you don't have to put up with average results anymore. You have the rules, you have the mindset, you have the techniques to become a true power user. The AI is your brilliant, eager intern, and it's just waiting for its next creative brief from you. The only question left is, what amazing thing are you going to ask it to create first?